Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thank you very much for pressing play on this very impromptu episode of the Women's Rugby Show. Kind of a mini episode, if you will. I bet you didn't think that we'd be dropping any content this week. Well, sorry to say, but you are wrong. Of course, it's a huge week in the world of women's rugby. It's the final of the Tyrrell Premrier 15s this Saturday at Franklin's Gardens in Northampton. And what better way to celebrate this showpiece event than to be here at Allianz Park, where we are going to speak to Alex Austerberry, Director of Rugby for Saracens, and some of the players to find out their thoughts before heading into the big game. Let's go take a look. Alex, thank you very much for speaking with us here at the Women's Rugby Show. It's been a really busy week for you with the final coming up on Saturday. How are preparations going?
Yeah, really well. Obviously it's not just one week doesn't make the season, so it's building on everything that we've looked at all year, and the last couple of weeks post the semi-final against Wasps. Obviously viewed that performance, looked where we could do better, and now it's the last three sessions have been making sure that we're in the right place to perform against Quins. Yeah.
What has your message been to the players going into this final?
It's been the same as it has been all year. Let's perform to our potential. Let's ensure that we keep our identity when we play. That's when we're at our best. So it's, what does that look like? How do we keep in that mentality for all of the 80 minutes? And it's basically, let's be true to ourselves, be true to the things that have got us here, and make sure that we perform like that on Saturday.
And one of your jobs, obviously, managing the players. How do you keep that balance between getting them too hyped, but also balancing those nerves as well?
Yeah, it's probably not just me. That's the job for a lot of our senior players and a lot of kind of our other coaches as well. It's not just me making sure, because it might be that I'm the one that's slightly energised, or it could be the one that I'm underwhelmed at the moment, or whatever it is. So it's everyone just making sure that we're in a right place. And if there's someone who's not being themselves, then let's have that conversation, or someone else within the group can have that conversation with that player to make sure that that they're right and they're ready to go. Because what I look like when I'm excited is very different to how some of the other players, and we're really lucky, like the likes of Sonia Green in the squad, who's been around for 17 seasons. We've got the experience of the England players who've been at World Cups. Just, we've got lots of different voices that can help make sure that we're in the right place, and it's good to fall back on those experiences. Yeah.
Absolutely, and overall a very talented squad.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, the performances this season, the performance of last season, speak for themselves. And I think what we've seen this year is quite a few players, break through and add to that. So it's made selection for the final even more challenging. But it's a good place to be with lots of depth and lots of quality. Yeah.
Absolutely. We're looking ahead to the final, looking at your opponents. Obviously, we don't want to draw too much on them, but what do you see as their main threats?
I think, to be honest, we'd be a little bit naive if we didn't see them as threatening all over the park. I think that their front five and their pack work and some of their breakdown work is very good. But that said, they've got a backline that you saw in some of the games they can score points from anyway. So I think if we can, just like anything really, if we can win the battle of the breakdown, if we can stop the momentum that their ball carriers get and manage where we are on the pitch and where they're on the pitch, I think we can shape a game that's suited to our style of play. But it's not a case of, you look through their team, the star-studded like ourselves. And I think it's a case of, look, you got to plan and prepare for every one of those 1 to 22 for the things that they can do, but also make sure that our starting lineup, our 22, is pretty strong as well. So it is a case of, look, we respect them, we don't fear them, but we do respect them.
Looking at this club as a whole, Saracens are known for their trophies, especially Saracens Women. Obviously, they won the title last year. Does that put added pressure on not just the team but yourself as well? Because this is your first season in charge, and they already won it this year. So, do you personally feel like you have to almost live up to expectations? You've got something to prove?
No, I personally don't have anything to prove. My job as coach is to make sure we facilitate an environment that maximises potential. And one of the things that was attractive about this club, and when I've been here previously, is that the potential of this club is to win things. A very talented group, so therefore the pressure is just making sure that we fulfil potential. And if we get that right, and if we performances look after the results and look after the trophies, and hopefully we've done everything throughout the course of the season to put ourselves in. Well, we're in the final now. We just got to make sure that we perform on the last game of the season to cap it off. Really, yeah.
You were at Franklin's Gardens today,
yeah,
with the trophy.
Yeah.
Does it make it even more real? Like, Did you want to touch it, or is that bad luck? Or how do you see
it? No. We've been lucky. As you said, the trophy's been in the trophy cabinet last year, and it only went after the Waterloo game. For me, at the end of the day, it's the things that go into the trophy that make it special. Realistically, it's a piece of metal, but everything, the hard work, all the energy, and all the effort that's gone into that is what really makes it rewarding. And hopefully on Saturday, the effort of everyone involved in the club, both on field, off field, we'll make sure that we put ourselves in a position to take the trophy home. Yeah.
Definitely. Very last question.
Yeah.
Do you have any pre-match rituals or superstitions that you're going to be doing on Saturday before the game?
No, not really. I try to avoid superstitions, otherwise I'd drive myself a little bit around the bend. So it's a case of, look, again, have faith in the players and the people that you work with, ensure that the processes are in place. I would probably say that I got a little bit of a penchant for some the squashy sweets. So if they're not with me, I'll probably be a little bit uncomfortable. But in all honesty, I know I'm not a very superstitious person, but there's some quirks in the squad where things have got to be right, socks on in the right order, etc. But for me, no, just turn up and hope that we've done everything in advance to get to put in a performance. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, listen, if you do win on Saturday, then I know what to get you as a present.
Yeah. Happy days. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Cheers.
Cheers.
Emma, thank you very much for talking to the Women's Rugby Show.
Pleasure.
First of all, how are you feeling before this weekend?
Yeah, I'm pretty nervous actually. Today was there's a lot of competition going into this training now. Actually quite nervous for this whole week of training, but the good nerves. So but exciting. It's cool. It's like a good opportunity again.
How does that compare to other matches?
You've got to make sure your hair's done a bit better. Maybe a bit of bronzer as well. You've got cameras on you this time. So no, seriously, it's just an awesome stage, isn't it? It's a great stage to be on. What an opportunity, yeah, again.
And you talk about sort of training. How has training been this week? I can imagine it's pretty intense, people fighting for places. What's the mood in the camp like been as well?
Yeah, positive. We had a bit of a talk to each other and we were like, right, we've really got to crack down. Everything here is positivity. Competition's healthy, that's a positive thing. It's not an irritable, aggravating thing, it's a positive thing. I think that's been a big emphasis on that between the girls. I think everyone is starting to get heated. Of course, it's a competitive environment right now, but everybody has sort of gone, right, this is a positive, let's channel it so that we get into winning range, yeah.
And can I ask, what do you do for your day-to-day job?
So I'm a personal trainer in Surrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the reason why I asked the question is, how do you keep yourself from going stir crazy, knowing that a week ago, and now coming up to 2 weeks, that you will be in this final, and then you've got to go to work every single day and do the normal day-to-day whilst also thinking about preparing for a final?
Yeah, I guess I'm fortunate that I work in a gym, so there's no excuses really for me to for me to miss training slots and stuff. But my days are very long days. Like today, I'm up at 5 and I'll work a 8.5-hour shift, and then I'll travel up from Guildford to here and then train. So I don't think I have a minute for me to actually think too much about it until I'm on the pitch about training. But as long as I get in my fundamentals through the day, then it's okay.
Yeah.
If I sit around too long thinking about it, again, the nerves kick in a little bit. Yeah.
Sure, and I think you've just made me realise that you're my new hero as well for doing that. That's really impressive. How difficult has it been with Easter right splat bang in the middle of this training session? Have you had any chocolate? Have you missed chocolate? Has it made a difference? I guess as a personal trainer, maybe not.
I had a little bit of chocolate, but my boyfriend actually was like, he had a sevens tournament this weekend, and he was like, right, there's no excuse. I've got a sevens tournament. We're not, even though there was a nice weather for some Pims this weekend, he was like, I've got a sevens tournament, you've got the Premiership final coming up. Like, that's good enough excuse for us to sunbathe. That's why I've got a bit of a glow on at the moment. Sunbathe, chill out, and train, basically, yeah.
Good enough, I like that. Plus you can have chocolate after the final.
Yeah, exactly, anyway. Chocolate will be there, yeah.
Alright, so looking ahead to the final, looking ahead to your opponents, you've played them, Quins, twice this season. They've beaten you, you've beaten them, both really tight games. What do you see as their main threats?
Their pack's pretty outstanding. They've got a great pack, and then saying that, they've got some really good leaders in their backs as well. So it's going to be a challenge for us all over the park, for sure. Again, they're just a really strong team. I would say we've got a really strong team, but that's what gets two teams like us to the final, that there's depth throughout every position. So I think we're going to be in for a battle all over the pitch, yeah.
When you're talking about those good nerves, those butterflies that kind of feed you,
yeah.
For you, when do they stop? Is it the moment you arrive at the stadium? Is it the moment you've got your kit on? Is it the moment you go out to warm up? Is it the moment you go on and you take that first hit?
It's the pitch. As soon as I get onto the pitch, because even in the semi-finals the other day when I was waiting to come on, I was nervous, and as soon as I got on, I was like, and then as soon as you get to that first ruck to pass the ball away, it's forgotten about. Your job kicks in, and then everything's forgotten about. But for me, it's as soon as I get onto the pitch and I get my first job out of the way, yeah.
And what will it mean to you personally to win this trophy?
It will mean loads. Last year I missed out on the final. I broke my foot just before the final in training. Beastly cool. 5 minutes left, and then I think Box took a step back and it went onto my foot and popped, and then I was out. So this year will mean a lot for me to get onto the pitch. For sure, it's been a long bit of rehab and getting to the stage that we are. Yeah, it would just be nice to get onto the pitch this time, for sure, yeah.
And for you, I guess it's nothing to lose, but for a team who's looking to retain a title, have you felt perhaps extra pressure within the squad?
I think, again, we might have been getting there was a stage with our training that we were starting to get that sort of frustrated, nervous, like what teams, I think all teams experience, but we really channeled it, and we had a word with ourselves and said, let's push this into a positive, and for sure you can sense that again. It's not about losing, it's about winning here, and I think we've all gone into that with our training, every training session. It's not about losing, I don't think that's really on our mind, it's about winning. Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen in these stands behind you that the longer the season's gone on, the more and more fans you've had.
Yeah.
What will it mean to you and the rest of the team to have hundreds, if not thousands, of screaming fans out there on the day of the final?
Oh, it's amazing. So I came here when I was 17, and it was your mum and your dad stood on the sidelines, and when we came out for a few, the Wasps games, the Waterloo games, all of those, when the music's going and the crowd's cheering when you come on, when we got into our huddle, we were like, wow, what an amazing feeling. So I think that really will edge us on. I mean, we play really great rugby in front of good crowds, so I think that it's just going to be heightened. Every bit of experience is going to be heightened again, yeah.
Absolutely. So from a personal perspective, we asked Alex this, do you have any superstitions or rituals that you're going to be doing on match day?
Well, I didn't used to have any, but the last couple of games I've stayed at Hannah Bottom's house, and her mum's made the best pancakes ever, and I seem to have an alright game after I have those, so I think I'm going to say to Hannah, oh, by the way, on Friday I'm going to stay around, and on Saturday your mum's going to make the pancakes, so I think that's, yeah, I'll talk to her later about that. Yeah.
Nice. And finally, last question. If you could give up anything in the world, never do it, never have it, never see it again, to win this trophy on Saturday, what would it be?
God, what would it be? Work. No, I think, God, I don't know. There would be loads of things I'd give up, but I think because rugby is, like I say, I get up in the crack of dawn to do this, so it all works. Haven't really thought about what I wouldn't do, because everything seems to fit into place for what I do want to do. So yeah.
Good
Sorry
answer.
for a boring answer there, but yeah.
No, that's great. Well, listen, thank you so much and wish you the best of luck for Saturday.
Yeah, thank you, Adam.
Thank you. Thank you very much for speaking with the Women's Rugby Show.
No worries.
First of all, how are you feeling before the big game on Saturday?
Well, we've still got a long week of prep to go, so I'm kind of getting into that week fairly slowly. But yeah, within the next few days, I'm sure I'll start to get excited about what's to come.
You come across as the kind of person who's like, if you were any more laid back, you'd fall over. Are you normally like that before games? Big games or even maybe just regular games?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like how I like to be, quite chilled out and relaxed and kind of take it as it comes. I'm definitely more the laid back kind of people in the group, so.
I mean, you do realise it's the final on Saturday, right?
Is it? Yeah, yeah, again, I'll just get excited as the week kind of goes on.
Sure, absolutely. Well, look, how's training been going in the camp overall? What's the mood been like between all the girls?
Yeah, it's kind of, we've now realised that it's that next step. Training last week was really good. We had a lot of girls really buy into the week. And yeah, just again, kind of finish those little touches that we know we didn't get quite right maybe against Wasps. So again, just minor details of fixing a few things here and there. But yeah, really positive in camp.
I think I know what the answer is going to be for you, but with your day job, how difficult is it to think about sort of the day-to-day without going stir-crazy and really just wanting to play on Saturday?
Yeah, again, it's just about having that kind of routine, and like a day is kind of the same. You have to kind of think of the same thing. But yeah, like my day job is kind of relaxed as it is, so it allows me to kind of do things like this then outside.
And was it tricky having Easter right slap bang in the middle of this 2-week training period? Like, did you have any Easter eggs? Did you have any chocolate, or you were just sort of like, no, not going to have any?
No, yeah, definitely. We had to have a little treat, and it was kind of nice for everyone to have that weekend of relaxing with their families and doing all sort of adventure stuff, so that we can now really go fresh into this week.
All right, so looking ahead to the match on Saturday, you played Harlequins ladies twice this season. They've beaten you. You've beaten them. Both games have been really, really tight.
Yeah.
Especially the last one here was an absolute corker. What do you think are going to be the main threats from Quins on Saturday?
Well, we can't, like you said, it's been such a tight match either way. We know what they bring up front and that kind of dominance they like to have in set piece. And then backs wise, again, really quite tight with like the likes of Jess Breach on the wing and all those sort of threats across the park. So we kind of know what they're going to offer us, and I'm sure they know exactly the same to us. So again, it's just going to be one of those tight matches that is a cup final, so who knows what's going to happen.
You talk about some of their players on a personal level. It's obviously don't know the team sheet or how we're going to line up. It's quite likely that you're going to face Rachel Burford. So how have you got that in your mind going into Saturday?
Yeah, I've played with Rachel. Like we get on off the pitch as well as on. So who knows what we're gonna what's gonna bring the weekend. So we'll just see how it matches up.
What would it mean to you personally to win this trophy?
I think it would be a great achievement, like personally, having the season we had last year and backing up this year with a similar like positive season. But yeah, that feeling after the game last year, like I don't think anyone's forgotten that feeling. So to have that again, I think would be immense.
Does it add more pressure knowing that obviously you won it last year and you have a chance to do back-to-back titles?
Yeah, it's definitely something that maybe we spoke about as friends within the team, but. Again, it's just another match, another cup final. So hopefully we'll get the result we want.
Just another game.
Yeah, just another game.
How important is it for you and the rest of the players to have hundreds and maybe even thousands of fans there cheering you on Saturday?
It's just like where women's rugby is going, and like as players we're getting extremely excited. The game that we had here after the men's, like that was a great atmosphere to come out to. I mean, even just warming up with people, like and ahhing whether to stay, seeing what it's about. That's what we hope to like encourage people to come and watch.
Do you have any pre-match superstitions or rituals that you like to do before a game?
I've been told by Sydney that I like to be the last out, and I didn't really think about it until recently. I do kind of faff around and do my own little thing, so yeah, it's probably being the last out and just having my own time to myself. I don't like to be rushed, so yeah, probably that.
Okay, nice. And finally, if you could give up anything in the world, probably a good thing, to win this trophy on Saturday, what would you give up?
What would I give up? Maybe coffee, but that's a big one. So if I say that, it means a lot.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you so much for talking with us,
worries.
and wish you the very best luck for Saturday.
Thank you very much.